Welcome everybody to Klein Scott Field in Centennial Park. My name is Adrian Holguin, and another matchup coming up for the Newton Rebels, this time against the Derby Twins. Bit of a rematch prior to these, or of course coming after the time when these two teams have met up earlier on in this season. The most recent time was just last night, where the Twins got the better of the Newton Rebels by a score of 19-1. The Rebels on the season overall 3-14. We saw them pick up their first win of the season at home just a couple days ago against the Islanders, and once again a home affair. Well, they won by a score of 13-8. We'll see if they can keep that going here and pick up their second home win in a row tonight on the 26th. Of course, from Centennial Park. Weather not too hot, honestly. A little bit of a break from the heat that we've been seeing over the past couple of days here in Newton, Kansas. But nevertheless, no clouds in sight. Great night for great night for baseball. I almost said basketball. What am I even trying to say? Ryan Ruggiero going to be starting out behind the plate, and also big number 18 Tate Lewis going to be starting us off on the pitching mound for the Newton Rebels. Interesting little bit of a tidbit here. Marcus Pollard back in the batting lineup. He hasn't been a part of it for the past couple of home games, but we'll see what he makes impact-wise here tonight once again in Klein Scott Field. We're going to be back just a moment for the start of this one. Of course, top of the first coming up. See what the Twins can do against Tate Lewis. Welcome back to Klein Scott Field. Top of the first. About to commence. Derby Twins going to be starting off once again. Batting or attempting to put some runs on the board. Caden Richards is going to be starting us off. Once again, big number 18, right-handed pitcher, Tate Lewis. Also starting us off for the Newton Rebels. Had a pretty solid season so far, but nevertheless, the pitching has been arguably one of the shortcomings this season for the Rebels, but we'll see if they can kind of turn it around. Once again, Ryan Ruggiero back behind home plate at the catching spot. He's been kind of taking a step back here as he kind of moves up in the batting rotation. He's going to be coming out second tonight behind Jody Lopez. Pitch number one in, down low. Ball number 1-0 count. Ruggiero throws it back once again to the pitcher. On that one, Richards out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He'll be taking a few gambles tonight, I'm sure of that one. A big hit between first and second, but a missed opportunity for the Rebels. The ball right to Colby Gomez, the middle infielder. Second baseman tonight for the Rebels, but just could not haul it in. Could have been the first out of the ball game, but nevertheless, no outs. Top of the first, runner on first. Luker swings at that one also and gets it right between center and right field, I should say. Great job of stopping the runner before he went home. Once again, Caden Richards was the one that got on base first. He went all the way from first to third. But the beautiful throw that Jody Lopez puts a stop to him, putting the first run up on the board, but nevertheless, the Derby Twins starting off hot against the Newton Rebels. Derby Twins 12-6 on the season. No doubt, due to starts like this. Tate Lewis fires it in. Swung at. by big number 10, Mitchell Birdsall. Third in the batting rotation tonight for the Derby Twins. Once again, runners on first and third. Ryan Ruggiero back behind home plate. Next pitch in, and going to be a ball. 1-1 count here in the top of the first. 0 outs. The Derby Twins off to a hot start. Already runners on first and third. Going to try and bring them home. St. Louis pitch number 6. Fired in and swung at. Ryan Ruggiero, good job of hauling that one in. Kind of the errant pitch to the outside. Ball 2. One runner in scoring position for the Derby Twins. 2-2 count. After that previous St. Louis pitch, already up to 7 pitches here in the top of the first. St. Louis right-handed pitcher out of Southwestern College, Dewey, Oklahoma, is where he, of course, resides normally. Next pitch and a stolen base opportunity for the Derby Twins. Going to be taking advantage of 2 runners now in scoring position for the Twins here, top of the first, no outs. Honestly, time for the Twins maybe to start swinging at the fences proverbially. 3-2 count. St. Louis fires in the deciding pitch. Not going to be swung at. And going to be just high of the strike zone. Going to be bases loaded for the Twins here, top of the first. Nolan Ganter indeed next up. Just last night, the Twins got the better of the Rebels by a score of 19-1. Rebels played, of course, on the road. New batter up, bases loaded here. Top of the first. 0 outs. Reset the count. Pitch number 1 and strike number 1. Pitching just over the shoulder of Ryan Ruggiero. Nolan Ganter awaits the next one. Pitch and strike number 2 from Klein Scott Field. Once again, bit of a breezy evening, to be honest with you, here in Centennial Park. No clouds in sight. Pitch number 2 fired in and swung at, foul to the right side. Newton Rebels trying to break a now 3-game losing streak. Would be a big-time kind of blow for the Twins, though, as they're on a bit of a winning streak themselves. Pitch number 3 on an 0-2 count. Makes contact with 1 runner, heads home, and base is going to be loaded. 1-0 score for the Derby Twins. Derby Twins leading early with bases loaded. Or are they? They might call a runner out here at second. Force out a second. Wasn't quite able to bring that one in there. On my part, my apologies. But nevertheless, runners on first and second. I'm going to reset the count here. 1 out, top of the first. First pitch and strike number 1, 0-1 count. Nolan Ganter takes the Lewis pitch and gets it right past the third baseman, Kanoyer. And the Twins going to score yet another run. Going to take the early 2-0 lead. Runner's going to be on first and second. Only 14 pitches thrown by Lewis so far as the new hitter, or the new batter, takes place for the Derby Twins. Going to be Kyler Warren. Twins got to be happy about their start to the ball game. Already 2 runs on board. 2 runners on first and second. St. Louis fires in another one. Miss, ball 1. Lewis pitch number 16 going to be, I thought it was going to be down a little bit lower, but strike number 1. 1-1 count. Next pitch fired into the outside, just to the outside of the strike zone. Ruggiero had to reach out to the right side of him to haul that one in to keep it out of harm's way. 2-1 count. That made contact with runners advancing now, and bases going to be loaded. No, the Twins get called out at first. Big heads-up play by first baseman Drew Wardell of hauling in the pass. Gutierrez is going to be next up to take on Tate Lewis. 18 pitches in from the pitching mound by Lewis. Runners on second and third. Gutierrez, catcher for the Twins. Going to take this first pitch. 2 outs, top of the first. Swings on that one. Foul ball to the right side. 0-1 count. Right here makes the call from behind home plate. Tate Lewis takes motion. Winds up and fires it in there. Going to be a little bit high. Ball on number 1. 1-1 count. Two outs, top of the first. 2-0 lead for the Derby Twins over the Newton Rebels. Tate Lewis. Gutierrez once again swings at it. Foul to the right side. 1-2 count. Let's get 2 outs. One more strike from Lewis here. One more strike forced would bring it into the top of the first. Lewis fires this next one in and swung at. Going to be opportunity to get the man out at first, and the Rebels do take advantage, get their third out of the top of the first. Bottom of the first coming up here. The Newton Rebels going to be taking over. Going to try and break into this 2-0 early lead held by the Derby Twins here at Klein Scott Field. Here we go. Welcome back, Klein Scott Field. Bottom of the first, the Newton Rebels off to a bit of a slow start here. The Derby Twins bringing it to them. 2 runs scored there on the top of the first by the Derby Twins. We'll see what the Rebels can do. They're about to take their place in the batter's box. Jody Lopez is going to be starting us up here. Look at some of our financial partners. Newton Lions Club, Best Pest Control, Miller Insurance Agency Incorporated, Charleston Insurance, Union State Bank, Faith and Life Bookstore, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Harvey County, Court-appointed Special Advocate Group, and Leslie Guin, Midway Motors of Newton, and Mark Fox, local Wigan Realtor. This season, the Derby Twins kind of dead in the middle in terms of standings in the JL Collegiate League. 11 with the 11-6 overall record. 2 games back from first place. The Newton Rebels 3 of 14. 10 games back. Jody Lopez takes place. Big number 32, shortstop. Going to start him off out of Western Oklahoma. First pitch misses inside. Ball number 1. Once again, bottom of the first, the Derby Twins out to an early 2-run lead. Pitch number 2 in, and strike 1. Going to bring it to 1-1 count. Owen Reynolds out of Oral Roberts fires in the next pitch, 2-1. Reynolds pitch number 4 going to be down low to Jordy. Ball number 3. We'll see if Lopez gets walked over to first. Wouldn't it be a bad thing to see if you're one of the Rebels fans? Next pitch swung at. Jordy Lopez maybe should have let that one go as he will be called out at first. Good try, but just a step too slow on the pursuit of first base for Lopez. Ryan Ruggiero going to be next up. 1 out, top of the first, or bottom of the first, I should say. Already getting confused up here. What am I doing? 2-0 lead for the Derby Twins over the Newton Rebels. Ryan Ruggiero. Picture for the Rebels. Kind of been a bit of an evolution for him this season. Kind of taking his time a little bit more in terms of his time in the batting box. Won't see him really swing at a lot of errant balls. Whereas early on in the season, at least from my vantage point, we're kind of seeing that a little bit. 1-1 count. But nevertheless, we'll see what he can do here. Out of Newton, Kansas. Hometown kid. Reynolds, another pitch in. Swung at by Ryan Ruggiero. 1-2 count. One out, bottom of the first. That one's fouled straight back off the swing of Ryan Ruggiero. Last game for the Rebels, Jordy Lopez batting after 304. A 1 total hit. Ryan Ruggiero. Quick swung out, or strikeout, I should say, by the Derby Twins. Already 2 outs here. Bottom of the first, Jordy Lopez got called out in his pursuit of first base, and Ryan Ruggiero gets how the strikeout. Titan Goebel going to be next up, outfielder from Pratt Community College. First pitch in and inside. Strike 1. Next pitch going to be down low to the outside, barely in the strike zone, 0-2. Titan Goebel, number 8 up to bat, outfielder out of Pratt Community College. McPherson, Kansas is his hometown, and he gets that one past the shortstop for the Derby Twins. He will find himself at first base. Finally a hit put up on the board by the Newton Rebels here in the bottom of the first. Will find themselves down to a 2-0 lead held by the Derby Twins. Derby Twins got to be feeling comfortable at this stage, but don't want to get complacent. Owen Reynolds, 13 pitches into his afternoon. Going to take on the next one. That one swung at by Jack Garner out of Warsaw, Missouri. Runner on first. 0-1 count. Next pitch and into the inside. Reynolds had to kind of squeeze that one in there. Forced the batter to move back a little bit. Off his stance, 1-1 count. Once again, number 8, Titan Goebel on first for the Newton Rebels. Pitch swung at, and the Derby Twins get their 3rd out of the bottom of the first. Jack Garner, not quite quick enough, similar to Jordy Lopez, that bottom of the first, but nevertheless, the Rebels come out of the bottom of the first with it down 2-0 to the Derby Twins, trying to pick up their 4th win of the season, 2nd win here in Klein-Scott Field. My name is Adrian Holguin, and we'll be back. Top of the 2nd coming up.
Chips, ice cream, and water. From the beer and hot chips. Be sure to get your Rebels
Tyler Ott's going to be starting us off here. Top of the second, St. Louis back on the mound after a long top of the first where the Rebels allowed 2 runs from the Derby Twins, leading to them being down 2 runs to none. First pitch in, and going to be a strike number 1. Next one, and it's swung at, just barely made contact. Tyler Ott's out of Delta State College, Summit, Mississippi. Ott's last night batting up to .250 against the Newton Rebels, playing at home. That one swung at, and a beautiful hit. Just barely gets past the third baseman for the Rebels, and Otts puts up a quick double on that beautiful hit that just kind of grazed over the foul line out to the left side. Ott's going to return his equipment back over to the coaching staff, but once again, the Twins find themselves in scoring position. Didn't take him too long. Dabrowski not going to swing at that one. Ball number 1. Already quickly making our way through the batting lineup for the Derby Twins. Already 9 through. I guess we're about to start it over here. Richard's going to be next up. He's on deck. 1-0 count for Dabrowski. Tate Lewis fires in the next one. Ruggiero hauls in the ball that was down low into the dirt. Bounced off home plate from my vantage point. 2-0. Tate Lewis picks number 28, and it's swung at high into left field, and the Rebels bring it down for the first out of the top of the second. Going to reset the count. Ott's going to remain at second for the Derby Twins. We did make our way all the way through the batting rotation for the Derby Twins here early on after that long top of the first. Caden Richards sets up now to try and grow this 2-0 lead held by the Derby Twins. We'll see if Tate Lewis has anything to say about it. Already 28 total pitches in. That one swung at by Richards. Strike number 1, 0-1 count. 1 out once again, top of the second. Tyler Otts holding it down over at the second base spot. Jody Lopez right behind him. No, it's not going to be a test over at second. So it's going to be a pitch in. Going to be down low to the outside. 1-1 count. Lewis looks back 2 second, fires it in. An outside wild pitch could not be brought in by Ryan Ruggiero. And Ruggiero fires it out to third. And Canoyer could not quite haul it in. 3-0 is our score. Derby Twins leading the Rebels here in Klein Scott Field. Newton, Kansas. Ruggiero not too happy with himself. Not too happy with the play of the infield for the Rebels after that mishap. Nevertheless, 2-1 is your count. Tate Lewis remains in the ball game on the pitching mound, but not what the Rebels wanted to see, with the Twins once again being up 3 runs to none here in the top of the second. 3-1 count. 1 out. Top of the second. Tate Lewis pitch number 33, fired in there. And going to be a bit high, just as we saw that from that previous one. And Richards walks out to first. The Derby Twins already back on base after we just saw that kind of infield error from the Newton Rebels that allowed that previous run to be scored here in the top of the second. Tate Lewis fires in the next one. Going to be down low in the strike zone. Take us to an 0-1 count here. Top of the second, 1 out. And Tate Lewis going to fire it over to first base. Going to test his man Drew Wardell, trying to get Caden Richards out. Pick up the second out of the top of the second, but unsuccessful. Next pitch coming in. Lewis down low. Another wild pitch, and Ruggiero gets it over to Jordy Lopez, but the throw just off of the mark. Lopez could not haul it in just quite. Runner now on second. Runner is Caden Richards.
Still down at second.
Richards stays over at second. We just saw some unforced errors here early on. Kind of some miscommunication, looks like, between Ryan Ruggiero, the catcher, and Tate Lewis, the pitcher. Next pitch, and Ruggiero brings in the low pitch. 2-1 count. One out, top of the second. Tate Lewis pitch number 37 fired in. Down low, ball number 3. 3-1 is your count. Caden Richards over at second base after he stole his way from first to second on the wild pitch. And the next pitch going to be up high once again. Lucard, I should say, walks his way over to first base. Runners down first and second. One runner in scoring position for the Newton Rebels. Mitchell Birdsall steps up third in the batting rotation. Big number 10 for the Derby Twins. Birdsall, like Jayhawk out of Lawrence, Kansas. Attended Kansas University out of Morgan Hill, California. 0-1. The next one swung at, but fouled to the left side. 0-2 count, 1 out. Top of the second. Runners on first and second for the Rebels. We're seeing kind of some unforced errors being put up by the Rebels here so far. Tate Lewis looks back at second, glares back, and looks back over to his catcher, Ryan Ruggiero, and he fires that one in there and a quick strikeout. That's strikeout. One of the first ones we've seen from Tate Lewis, but Tate Lewis already 41 pitches in. Once again, we saw that long top of the first and now a long top of the second. No doubt wants to get off that pitching mound here real quick and rest up for the top of the third. Tate Lewis fires that one in there and a hit out to right field. And it hits the ground. Runners rounding the bases. 1 run in and a second one also in, and the pass over to home off the mark. Big time. Will be a double RBI on that one from Mitchell Birdsall. And the hot start continues for the Derby Twins, now leading 5-0 here in the top of the second. 1 runner going to be on second base. 3 runs put up here in the top of the second by the Derby Twins. Nolan Ganser next up to try and grow this Derby Twin lead. Ganser gets a batting average of .324 in their home matchup against the Newton Rebels. Nice pitch, strike number 2, 0-2 count. Top of the second, 2 outs. Correction, 14 Holden Pantier. Pantier not going to swing at that one. 1-2 count, my apologies. Pantier last night, batting average of .290. Tate Lewis fires in the next one, and a big hit and to center field, and the Rebels let it hit the ground. One runner rounding the bases, and just like that, the Derby Twins out to a 6-0 lead here in the top of the second. Two outs. Runner now on a first for the Derby Twins. Pitch in, and gonna be a fly ball out to left field, and the Rebels bring it in to the top of the second. 3 outs, but not before the Twins can put up 4 runs in that inning. But we'll see what happens in the bottom of the second. Can the Rebels respond? We'll find out in just a matter of seconds from Klein Scott Field. Welcome back to Klein Scott Field. It has been all Derby here so far throughout the first 1.5 innings. The Derby Twins leading the Newton Rebels by a score of 6-0 here in Klein Scott Field. My name is Adrian Holguin. Let's look at some more of our financial partners real quick. Conradi Insurance Group, Patriot Roofing Services, Platinum PDR Plus Paint, Roofing Services Unlimited, Shamrock Car Wash and Pouch Enterprises, John Oldham Family, Newton Rebels founder Carl Hodges and family, and Arma Coatings of Wichita. Cooper Addison going to be starting us out here from the batter's box here in the bottom of the second. Has some success just last night, hitting-wise, actually led the Newton Rebels in total batting average. Last night his batting average, I just saw that pitch come in. Ball number 1, 407. Two hits, 1 RBI. Just 24 hours ago on the road. 1-1 count. That's pitch fired in there and striked out to the left side. 1-2 count. Swinging for the fences on that one. Once again, the Rebels have all evening, honestly, to kind of bounce back from the 6-0 deficit. But see if they can do so. That pitch goes in up high. Not going to be swung at. 2-2 count. Bottom of the second, no outs. And the next pitch in and into the inside. Ball number 3 fills up the count 3-2. Cooper Addison out of Rogers, Arkansas. Sophomore at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College. The next pitch heads over to the shortstop, and Addison, a great job at pursuing that first base with authority and fighting himself comfortably at first base. Going to reset the count, no outs. Bottom of the second. Newton Rebels still trying to cut into this deficit. Alex Canoyer going to be next up, playing third base tonight for the Newton Rebels.
1 on, no outs.
Saw him have an error earlier on
Crossover, but
in the top of the second. Led to a run being posted. Next pitch fired in there, and Canoyer fouls out to the right side. 0-1 is your count. Bottom of the second, no outs. Runner on first for the Newton Rebels. Still on first as another test was made. The infield trying to test Cooper Addison. Addison had to dive out to kind of save himself on that one. Next pitch fired in. No swing from Canoyer on that ball up high. 1-1 count. Alex Canoyer last night batting after 2-7-0. 1-2 count. Canoyer out of Fowler, Illinois. They're going to await the 26th pitch of the night from the Derby Twins. And that pitch, a ball out to the right side. 2-2. For the infield for the Derby Twins, really trying to kind of test Addison over at first. They don't really like him out there. Looks like trying to test him a little bit, and Canoyer swings at that one. Swings it up high. Going to be a fly ball that is hauled in from the Derby Twins. Holden Pantier was the one that brought that one down from the second base spot. 1 out, top of the first. Addison's going to stay over at first after that fly ball that we just saw that was hauled in. Next up, Drew Wardell, first baseman, Pratt Community College, Mays, Kansas, where he's from. First pitch and a ball up high, and Addison once again gets tested over at first base. Richard Gutierrez, the catcher tonight for the Twins, testing him on that one. 2-0 count, 1 out. And still at first, and another swing by Drew Wardell. 2-1 count. 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second, the Rebels allowed 4 runs in the top of the second, put up by the Twins, and then 2 in the top of the first. Next pitch down low. Wardell now faces a 3-1 count. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 ball away from a walk over to first would advance Addison over a scoring position for the Rebels. And Wardell, a big swing at that one. Bottom right side, 3-2 count, full count. See what happens here on this deciding pitch. Reynolds fires it in there, and going to be a ball down low. Wardell stays patient, going to walk his way over to first. Runners down first and second. As Marcus Pollard makes his way up. Still only one out. Bottom of the second. Addison in scoring position now. Marcus Pollard returning to the lineup here. We haven't seen him in these past few home affairs for the Newton Rebels. Good to have him back, man. One of the more consistent hitters for the Rebels so far on the season. Pitch fired in there. Strike. Brings up an 0-1 count. One out. 6-run deficit for the Newton Rebels here in the bottom of the second. Next pitch fouled out to the right side. Bring up an 0-2 count. Marcus Pollard. Once again, up to bat for the Newton Rebels. 1.29 batting average outside for Marcus Pollard. A day you would want to have back. And a quick pitch inside. Misses inside. But going to be called a strike on that one. Going to be a second strikeout of the ball game. Or of this bottom of the second. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Put up by Owen Reynolds out of Oral Roberts College once again. Coolidge, Kansas, where he resides full time. 2 outs now. Bottom of the second. Addison in scoring position for the Rebels. And a big swing like from Colby Gomez. Brings up the 0-1 count here. Once again, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Colby Gomez. Second baseman for the Newton Rebels. Pratt Community College. Hometown guy, Newton, Kansas. Where he's from, and ball number 1 outside. 1-1 count. Owen Reynolds, 38 total pitches so far. Hasn't really had to face the same firepower that Tate Lewis has. At least so far. We'll see if the Rebels can kind of get back into this ball game. Slider up top. 2-1 count. Gomez taking his time, kind of waiting for this pitch. He's going to swing at that one. 2-2 count. One more out from the bottom of the second, closing with the Twins still leading 6-0. Not what the Rebels want to see. Once again, a pair of runners on base. Currently. Owen Reynolds looks back at second and fires it in there. Swing out to the right side. And still, Reynolds kind of paying a lot of attention to Addison. He was really testing him quite a bit over at first earlier on in the bottom of the second. Still doing so as he sits over at second base. Reynolds pitch number 42 in and a foul. Not quite over the catch fence, right behind him. Colby Gomez still in the middle of this pitching battle here. 2-2 counts. Takes his time, takes a big breath in and fires it in there. And Colby Gomez swings at it. Going to be a strikeout. The third strikeout of the bottom of the second as the Derby Twins lead the Rebels 6-0 here in Clyde Scott. Welcome back to Klein Scott Field. Top of the third. About to commence. After the first two innings come to a close with the Derby Twins leading the Rebels by a score of 6-0. Host families for the Newton Rebels: Becky Day family, Carrie Bood family, Heather Haskew family, Hope Graber family, Philly Peoples family, Kim Pouch family, Melissa Wardell family, and lastly, Michelle Kaufman family. Newton Rebels trying to pick up their fourth win of the season here at Klein Scott Field. Then on the other side, on the season, the Derby Twins, a record of 12-6. Entering tonight. Just sounds like the Twins had a big-time victory over the Newton Rebels, winning by a score of 19-1. First pitch fired in there of the top of the third. Inside, strike number 1, 0-1 count. Ruggiero still behind home plate. Here in Klein Scott Field, here in the top of the third. No outs, as we're just commencing. Tate Lewis, 48 pitches so far. 49th coming up. Lewis fires that one in there, and contact made out to third. And Canoyer off the mark, trying to get the ball over to first. And the runner advances over to third. Or over to second, I should say. Alex Canoyer, the third baseman, one that kind of was off the mark with that throw. Runner in scoring position now here early on in the top of the third. It just looks back at second, fires the next one in there. And no swing. That time. For the Derby Twins. Tyler Otis got an RBI earlier on in the ball game. Now facing a 2-0 count. Tate Lewis continues to kind of mount up his total patient count. 51 after a long top of the first and a long top of the second. That one misses as well. 3-0 count. Runner on second here on the top of the third. And that one inside and up high. Tate Lewis walks Otis over to first. Runner's going to be on first and second for the Newton Rebels. One in scoring position once again. As a new batter makes his way over to the batter's box here in the top of the third. Once again, no outs. Dabrowski steps into the batter's box. Face number 1 going to be heading in here. Tate Lewis, at least of this series. And Dabrowski showed bunt there. Made contact and be a foul to the left side. Try to load up the bases for the Twins. No swing once again. Another ball down low from Tate Lewis. 55 pitches into his evening. 1-1 count. Into the top of the third. Another pitch is fouled at the left side. Ruggiero dived out for that one. Tried to get the out. Would have been the first out of the top of the third. Hauled in by the Newton Rebels, but not so lucky on that one. But can't really fault the effort from Ryan Ruggiero, who's getting the start at the catching spot. Not gonna make the signal over to Tate Lewis. and determine what pitch you're going to see. 1-2 count. That one swung on out to right field and barely stays in play. And he's going to load up the bases, or looks like Dabrowski actually going to get called off. He's going to have to return home after that was called a foul. Bases would have been loaded, or even one runner might have even been able to go home, but a big break for the Newton Rebels. 6-0 lead for the Twins, top of the third. 1-2 pitch from Tate Lewis, fired in to the outside, 2-2 count. There's on first and second here for the Derby Twins. And that one swung at and hauled up by Jordy Lopez. Or not quite, as he ran right into the runner almost right before he can haul that one in there. Richards going to be next up. Next up to bat for the Derby Twins. No outs, top of the third. Bases now loaded for the Derby Twins here. Caden Richards indeed turning over the lineup, and first in the batting lineup here tonight. Tate Lewis fired it in there. Ball outside and down low. 1-0 count. Tate Lewis looking around the bases, finally fires it in inside and makes contact with the batter. Going to grow the Derby Twins lead from 6-0 to 7-0 here in the top of the third. Another unforced error for Tate Lewis. Look, he's going to have a conversation with the umpire, indeed. And a pitching change might be coming up here from Klein Scott Field. Tate Lewis already 61 pitches into his evening in Klein Scott Field. We'll be back to see what the ruling is and what happens. Once again, my name is Adrian Holguin, and stay with us. Welcome back, clients. Scott Field, a pitching change indeed made for the Newton Rebels. And with that, a new hitter also stepping up to the plate, Braden Lukehart. A Wichita State shocker during the school year. Runners on first, and second, and third. Bases loaded for the Derby Twins. And the next pitch, gonna be a wild pitch. Ryan Ruggiero could not haul it in. Not quite haul it in. Ball one. Runners on second and third now as the Derby Twins lead 8-0 here in the top of the third. No outs. Time to swing for the fences if you're the Derby Twins. Pitch into the outside, just inside the strike zone, though. 1-1. And the next pitch, fired in. 2-1 count. Ryan Ruggiero keeps it out of harm's way. The next pitch inside the strike zone, the top left corner. Outside corner, I should say. 2-2 count. Top of the third, no outs. Derby Twins, a big lead over the Rebels, 8-0. Once again in the top of the third, and another swing from Newgart. Leads to the strike. He's going to march back to the dugout. 1 out, top of the third. Birdsdale. Next up now. Birdsdale steps up here, 1 out. Top of the third. Derby Twins leading 8-0 with 2 runners in scoring position currently. Birdsdale swings at that one. Going to be fouled out to the left side. Almost would have been a big hit if he could have just got it maybe 5 to 10 feet farther. Got that into the grass where it left the field of play, but nevertheless, another break for the Rebels. We'll see if they could capitalize. Next pitch and low into the outside. 1-1 count after the previous foul ball. Shiro takes his stance and a wind up on the pitching mound. So the ball coming in inside, and Missouri going to have a little meeting at the mound. 2-1. And the next pitch, a big-time hit over to Jordy Lopez. 1 run gets put up at first, but another runner makes his way over to home. 3 runs put up now in the top of the third as the Twins lead the Rebels 9-0. Here in, once again, the top of the third. 2 outs. Now in the top of said inning. Going to reset the count as the Rebels going to look to pitch their way back into this one. And the next one, down low, ball 1. Nicholas Fierro, the right-handed pitcher and currently for the Newton Rebels out of Kansas Wesleyan, El Paso, Texas, where he's from. The next pitch, strike number 1. 1-1 count. 2 outs, top of the third. The Derby Twins have a runner over on third in scoring position. Going to try and bring them home here and grow this lead up into the double digits. Fierro fires it in there inside and makes contact with the hitter. He's going to send the walk all the way over to first. Donald Ganser out of Pima Community College, Phoenix, Arizona, was the player who got walked over to first by the Derby Twins. Derby Twins leading this game 9-0 here in the bottom of the third. Fierro fires it in, and contact made between first and second, and the Rebels pick up the third out of said top of the third. 3 runs put up here by the Derby Twins, leading 9-0 here at Klein Scott Field. See what the Rebels can do when we come back here. Bottom of the third coming up. Welcome back to Newton, Kansas, Centennial Park, Klein Scott Field. My name is Adrian Holguin. The Derby Twins leading the Rebels by a score of 9-0. The Rebels trying to crawl their way back into this ball game. Went through our financial partners, went through our host families already. Let's look at some of our in-kind supporters. Gorilla Apparel, Signs, and Web. Gorilla Marketing Incorporated, Back Alley Pizza, Bob Birkin, BuyALocalPlus.com Magazine, Newton Recreational Commission, YMCA of Newton, and Summer Days. 2 runs put up by the Twins in the first inning, top of the first, 4 in the top of the second, and 3 in the top of the third. Jody Lopez flips over the batting rotation as we start back up at the top. Lopez, number 32, one of the more consistent kind of hitters for the Rebels this season, playing shortstop for him. We'll see what he can do here. Once again, bottom of the third. Picks number 1 and ball number 1. Owen Reynolds still in the ballgame out of Oral Roberts from Colwich, Kansas, and big hit by Jody Lopez. Going to be a big, he could go all the way to second and maybe over to third. No. The Derby Twins put a stop to that one, but nevertheless, a double to start us off here. In the bottom of the third, Ryan Ruggiero going to step up to the plate now. Big number 7, picture for the Rebels. No outs. Bottom of the third, big hit by Jody Lopez to start us off. Reynolds looks back at Lopez, fires it in to Ruggiero, who swings down low at that one. Going to be strike number 1, 0-1 count. Reynolds picks number 47 and swung at by Ruggiero. Going to be a fly ball out to right field. And the Twins bring it down. Jody Lopez stays over at second, but 2 outs now, or 1 out. The bottom of the third. Titan Gable going to be next up now. Big number 8. Titan Gable 24 hours ago, batting average of .326 on the road, 3 at bats, 2 hits. Pitch in and swung at to the outside. 0-1 count, strike number 1. Reynolds looks back at Jody Lopez over at second. Titan Gable. Gable swings at that one. 0-2 count now. Once again, only one out. Bottom of the third. One strike away from being the second out of the bottom of the third. We've seen Reynolds have some pretty big strikeouts against the Newton Rebels here tonight. And Gable makes kind of going to be a wild pitch. Gable going to have to race him over to first. And he gets there and is safe. And Jody Lopez takes advantage also. Puts the first run on the board for the Newton Rebels. They now trail 9-1 here in the bottom of the third. First run of the day put up against Owen Reynolds. And Gable sits over at first after Jody Lopez got sent back home after that wild pitch inside. Bottom of the third, Reynolds looks over at first. Fires in the pitch. Ball number 1 down low. Jack Gardner back up out of Hutchinson Community College. Twins up 9-1. And he makes contact on the swing, but a double play opportunity made and converted by the Derby Twins. Beautiful job of closing out the bottom of the third. Jody Lopez found his way home, cutting the Derby Twins lead down to 9-1 here. We'll be right back. We'll see what the Rebels can do when we come back here in Klein Scott Field. My name is Adrian Holguin, and stay with us. Welcome back to Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. The Derby Twins leading 9-1 here to start out the top of the fourth. Pitch in from number 24, Nicholas Fierro. Down low, ball 1. Next one up high and inside, ball number 2. 2-0 count. And that one a wild pitch to the outside. 3-0 count. Newton Rebels trying to pick up their 4th win of the season, 3-14 on the year. Fierro fires this one in there and inside, 3-1. See if Fierro can keep this one in the strike zone. He fires it in, and it is up high. Gonna walk the batter over to first base. Another walk. Kyler Warren, the batter that heads over there. Next up, going to be Richard Gutierrez, I should say. The catcher for the Twins here tonight. 10 pitches for Fierro so far. Fierro sets up, fires, and forces the swing on that first one. 0-1 count. Runner on first for the Twins. Fierro looks back at him. Fires in the next pitch, and gonna be straight over to first. And they get Gutierrez out over there. Once again, the catcher for the Twins. 1 out, top of the fourth. Runner advances over from second to first. As once again, the runner comes in, Tyler Otts. Been one of the premier players so far for the Twins. Got a handful of runners in earlier on in the ball game as the Twins once again lead 9-1 here, top of the fourth, 1 out. Fierro and a strike to the outside. Fierro 13 pitches in Tuesday afternoon in relief for Tate Lewis. Fierro looks back at second, fires in pitch number 14, and a wild pitch to the inside. Runner advances over to third. Twins up 9-1, 1 out, top of the fourth. 1-1 count. Fierro pitch in and past Canoyer. Hit hard into the ground. Run number 10 in as the Twins now lead 10-1 after that single RBI from Tyler Otts. Twins put up their first run of the top of the fourth. They lead 10-1. Fierro remains in the ballgame. Nicholas Fierro, right-handed pitcher out of El Paso, Texas. Alex Dabrowski comes in still. Bottom of the batting rotation, going to come back up to Caden Richards after Dabrowski does his business. 1-0 count, and that one gets past the pitcher. Judy Lopez gets the runner out at first and also converts on the double play. Quick and great defensive job by the Rebels. Great job by Jody Lopez, who already put up the single run of the day for the Newton Rebels. Quickly puts up the bottom 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth coming up here from Clyde Scott Field. They're between the lead and the Newton Rebels by a score of 10-1 here, midway through the contest in Klein, Scottville. My name is Adrian Holguin, and welcome back. Jody Lopez put up the Rebels' lone run in the bottom of the third. Cooper Addison is going to step up here to start us off here. In the bottom of the fourth, the Rebels trying to pick up their 4th win of the season tonight in Klein, Scottville, their 2nd home victory of their 2024 campaign. First pitch in the bottom of the fourth, fired in, up top. Ball number 1, Cooper Addison, good job on not swinging at it. 1-0 count. Next pitch going to be strike number 1. Count at 1. Owen Reynolds, 3 strikeouts out of Oral Roberts tonight. And Addison makes contact with that one. Going to be called out at first, just barely. Just a centimeter, millisecond away, I should say, from getting his foot down. But nevertheless, new runner stepping up here. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
1 out so far, bottom of the 4th.
Alex Canoyer. First pitch comes in here. Ball number 1, 1-0 count. Derby Twins. 12 wins on the season, trying to make that 13. Strike number 1. 1-1 count. Owen Reynolds out of Colwich, Kansas. Pitcher in for the Derby Twins. 1-2 count. Richards pitch number 59, and up top and swung at by Canoyer, third baseman for the Newton Rebels. Out number 2, bottom of the 4th.
2 outs there. 4 first baseman steps in.
Joe Wardell now steps up. Big number 11 for the Newton Rebels. Canoyer last night batting average of .270. Not having much luck so far. First pitch and a wild one. Bounces off the catch fence right behind home plate. Ball 1. Two outs, bottom of the 4th. Twins up 10-1. Another foul ball. Right behind home plate. Drew Wardell, first baseman out of Pratt Community College, Mays, Kansas hometown. Wouldn't you know? The 1-1 pitch now fired in inside. 1-2 is your count after that called strike. You're in the bottom of the 4th, already 2 outs. Top of the 5th kind of be coming up here. The Rebels trying to avoid an early 7-inning loss. And that was swung hard by Drew Wardell. 3 outs now. Bottom of the 4th, top of the 5th coming up here. The Rebels have no answers for the pitching so far put up by the Derby Twins. Owen Reynolds has pitched all first 4 innings for the Twins. Will he make a pitching change? Will we see a pitching change? We shall see. Top of the 5th coming up here from Clyde Scott Field. Caden Richards flips the batting lineup for the Derby Twins as Nicholas Figueroa stays in on the pitching mound for the Newton Rebels. Already 17 pitches in as the Twins lead the Rebels 10-1 here in the top of the 5th. Here, our first pitch in to the inside. Ruggiero keeps it out of harm's way. 1-0 count here. To start us off here, top of the fifth. Rebels trying to turn their season around after a slow start, currently on a 3-game losing streak. 2-0 count. Pitch number 20 from Fierro. Winds up, fires it in, and 3-0 is your count. Could see the quick Richards walk over to first. And indeed, that is exactly what we see. Caden Richards walks over to first, and a new batter coming up. Braden Lucar indeed coming up here, says the PA announcer. Down to the runner on first. Ryan Ruggiero going to be right behind him once again from the catcher spot. Nicholas Fierro, 21 pitches now into his evening. Pitch in from Braden Lucar. Or pitch in and Braden Lucar does a swing at it. Strike one. Next pitch. Another strike. Strike number 2. Runner on first for the Derby Twins. No outs. Next pitch outside. Ball number 1. 1-2 count here at Clyde Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Took some of our meal makers for the Newton Rebels after this pitch, which is fouled out to the right side. Going to stay 1-2 on the count. Pathways Care Women's Care Group, First Baptist Church, Newton First United Methodist Church, The Table, and Hope Graber. Lucar sets back up here. 8:20 p.m., an hour and 20 into this one. And Clyde Scottfield, big hit out to right field and up high. Calls a foul. Or called a foul. Everybody going to return back to their position. Jack Garner out there. Probably lucky that was a foul ball. He was kind of waltzing his way over there. But nevertheless, 1-2 count after that big time hit out to right field. Look for a second at that Lucar hit. Thought to go the distance, but obviously that did not happen. Here, 2-1 pitch. Comes right over to him, Jordy Lopez. 1 out, and the second not quite hits home. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Jordy Lopez picks up another out over at second. Mitchell Birdsall next up, big number 10. Has some success earlier on in the evening as the Twins lead 10-1 in the top of the 5th. Hero pitch in, slides down, strike number 1. Our pitch number 29 in and to the inside, but called strike. 0-2. Runner on first. Caden Richards, more specifically. Birdsall up to bat. He makes contact. Another fly ball to right field, and the Rebels get him out. Out number 2. Top of the 5th.
Next up the bat. In the O'Malley.
Aiden O'Malley sets us to the plate. Like changing the lineup on the fly for the Derby Twins. Makes sense. Up 9 runs here in the top of the 5th. Right on first pitch in, and strike number 1, Ruggiero. Not a good kind of bounce back after he made a few errors earlier on in the ball game, but 0-1 count. Next pitch inside, gonna bring it up to a 1-1 count here in the top of the 5th. Twins trying to grow their 9-run lead here in the top of the 5th. 2 outs. And Fierro fires that one in there, and contact is made. Jordy Lopez picks up the 3rd out of the top of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th coming up here. The Newton Rebels have a chance to cut into this 9-run lead held by the Derby Twins here at Klein Scott Field. Stay with us. More action coming up. Newton Rebels baseball trailing the Twins 10-1 here, coming into the bottom of the 5th. Number 49, Marcus Pollard, a little bit lower down in the batting lineup than where we see him normally. Going to start us off here once again. See if the Rebels can kind of get back into this ball game, down 9 runs once again. Pitch in. Ball 1. One Reynolds still in the ball game. 64 total pitches so far. Big swing that time. Strike number 1. 1-1 count. Here in the bottom of the 5th, no outs. Rebels have to get something going here if they want to stay in this ball game, or at least get back into this ball game. Owen Richards. Pitch up high. 2-1 count. Reynolds takes number 66 and 67, I should say, and 3-1 count. And pitch number 68 in and swung high and hit high out to right field, and Marcus Pollard gets called out. First out of the bottom of the 5th. Colby Gomez is going to be next up with the Twins leading 10-1 Klein Scott Field. Colby Gomez and a fielder out of Pratt Community College, Newton, Kansas. Colby Gomez, batting average of 167, 24 hours to go, ball 1. Next pitch, a good hit out to left field as it hits the ground. Colby Gomez finds his way over to first, but we'll see if the Rebels can capitalize here. Jody Lopez flips it back over. We saw him bring in the lone run of the evening for the Newton Rebels earlier on. Only one out, bottom of the fifth. We'll see if they can kind of go on a run here to end out the fifth inning. Jody Lopez sees the first one. Not going to swing at it. Misses high. Ball one. Lopez fouled. Putting the count up at one. One runs out. 72 pitches into the afternoon for the Derby Twins. One more pitch fired in down low. Almost could have been an out of control one, but stays out of harm's way. 2-1 count. One man on first for the Rebels. Pitch in, and Lopez not going to swing at the outside pitch. 3-1. We saw Lopez get walked over to first earlier on in the top of the fourth. We'll see what happens again in the top of the fifth. And indeed, Lopez almost thought he was going over to first, but instead the umpire calls him back. 3-2 count, full count, one out, bottom of the fifth. And that was swung and fouled out to the right side. Lopez stays alive. Jody Lopez, shortstop out of West Oklahoma. From just down I-35, Wichita, Kansas. Full count and a hit by Jody Lopez right to the left side of the shortstop. Makes his way over to first. Runners down first and second for the Newton Rebels. Bottom of the fifth. Ryan Ruggiero now steps up, second in the batting order. One out, bottom of the fifth. Race number one, and Ruggiero, good contact out to center field, but comes down into the grass with the outfield. 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. Titan Gable going to be next up. Once again, runners on first and second for the Rebels. One in scoring position. Titan Gable, the designated hitter tonight. Always out in the outfield, but not tonight. Pitch in, and Gable makes contact, and he will get called out at first. 3 outs. Top of the fifth, bottom of the fifth coming up here. Rebels. Could have get nothing going there, but we'll see if they can get something going on defense. Twins up to bat next up. My name is Adrian Holguin, and welcome back to Client Scott Field. Top of the sixth. Facing to commence here as the Twins lead 10-1. As Nicholas Fierro remains in the ball game out of El Paso, Texas, on the pitching mound. There's first pitch and a swung. And a hit out to left field. Gonna be a double to start us off here in the top of the sixth. Here in Client Scott Field, the Twins not letting up in the slightest against the Newton Rebels. Owen Pantier was the one that got that quick double. Kyler Warren next up. Fierro's pitch is in and into the dirt. Ball at number 1. Zero outs, top of the sixth. Next pitch, and a foul to the backside, caught by the catch fence. Look at that was there, could have hit me right in the face. 1-1 count. Fierro in and forces the big swing. 1-2 count. Runner in scoring position over at second for the Twins. Next pitch and contact made out to the left side of center field. Hits the ground and going to send him over to first, but also a runner all the way around the bases to grow the overall lead. Pantier gets one of his first runs of the ball game. The Rebels now trailing 10 points, 11-1. Top of the sixth. Richard Gutierrez next up with runner once again on first. Fierro looks back over at Warren, fires this one in there, and Gutierrez contact made out to left field, and the Rebels bring it down. 1 out, top of the sixth. Tyler Ott's going to be next up to bat for the Derby Twins. Tyler Ott's got a handful of RBIs already tonight. Tyler Ott's out of Delta State. 0-1 count. Derby Twins 12-6 record, and Ott out to first. Jody Lopez hauled in the out over at second base, but could not convert on the double play. 2 outs. Top of the sixth. Alex Dabrowski going to be next up. Twins leading the Rebels 11-1, 10 runs. If I'm not mistaken, if the Twins lead by 10 runs here going into the bottom of the seventh, the game would be over. Or maybe going to the seventh, we shall see. Test over at first. Unsuccessful, but can't be too safe or had to make some calculated risks. Do the Rebels. Trying to pick up their 4th win of the season. Strike 1. Next pitch. And Lopez brings him out. Brings his man out over at second. 3 outs. Top of the sixth. The Twins leading the Rebels 11-1. The bottom of the sixth coming up from Client Scott Field. Pitching change made hitting into the bottom of the sixth. The Twins leading 10 runs by 10 runs, 11-1 to be exact. Jack Gardner, outfielder. Not going to swing at that one. Ball number one. New pitcher in, Aiden Dugan. For the Derby Twins, fires the second one in there. Strike one, 1-1 count. Rebels trying to avoid an early loss for Klein Scott Field. Picks number 3. Duggan. Strike 2. One to count for Gardner. 0 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Duggan and a big swing by Gardner leads to the first out of the bottom of the 6th. Cooper Addison going to be stepping back up. Alex Canoyer also going to be next up. 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. Cooper Addison. Big contact out to right field. Hits the ground. Going to be a base hit. 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. The Twins leading by 10. 11-1. Alex Canoyer. Next up, third baseman for the Rebels.
Crossover first.
Has to test it over at first base.
1 out, 1 man off.
0-0 count. Make that 0-1. As Canoyer swings at the first one. Still 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Cooper Addison at first. Will he be tested? We shall see. No. Next pitch in, and Canoyer swings and gets fouled. That's the backside. Caught by the catch fence. Was that one. 0-2 count. One more strike from the second out being put up in the bottom of the 6th. We'll see what happens. Put up and swing and a miss from Canoyer, third baseman for the Rebels. 2 outs now, bottom of the 6th. Drew Wardell going to be stepping up here, number 11. Marcus Pollard on deck. Cooper Addison still at first base for the Rebels. Duggan fires this one in there. And Wardell.
Strike there.
Swing, strike 1. Wardell out of Mays, Kansas. Swings at that one. 0-2.
Yes.
2 outs, bottom of the 6th here in Clarence Scott Field. Duggan in, and a big swing by Wardell brings an end to the 6th inning. Dugan brings it into the 6th inning indeed. Rebels trailing 11-1 to the Derby Twins. Top of the 7th coming up here from Clarence Scott Field. Stay with us. Top of the 7th, Derby Twins leading the Rebels 11-1. Heading in to the top of the 7th. Pitch in. 1-0. Dylan Droney. And replacing Nicholas Vieira on the fiction mound. Pitch 2 for him. Swung and contact made. And a quick out over to first by the Rebels. Out number 1, top of the 7th.
Now that is number 35.
Hard shot. Going to be next up here. That previous out over at first we just saw, put up by the Rebel defense. Drone gets to strike 1. 0-1 count. Next one fouled to the left side. Strike number 2. And Drone, next one, another foul ball. Going to stay an 0-2 count. Off the top side of the bat. Going to get another crack at it. Drone picks number 6 in and up top. 1-2. So swung at, and Drone gets the strikeout. 2 outs. Top of the 7th.
Now that number 10, Mitchell Birdsall.
So Birdsall next up. Big number 10, right-handed hitter for the Derby Twins. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Twins leading 11-1 in Klein Scott Field. Birdsall winds up, not going to swing at it. 1-0. Drone, great job so far, kind of putting the Twins at ease here. Kind of stopping the momentum, stopping the bleeding for the Newton Rebels. 1-1 count. Jero makes the call. Drone fires in and hits the batter. We've seen that a handful of times from the Rebels pitchers here tonight, and a free walk over to first with 2 outs, top of the 7th. Aiden O'Malley going to be next up. One more out away from the top of the 7th, coming to a close here in Klein Scott Field. Aiden O'Malley going to try and put a stop to that. First pitch and strike 1. Right over the shoulder of catcher Ryan Ruggiero. Drone pitch number 12. Fired in, ball number 1. Here had to reach up to the right side to kind of haul that one in there off the ground. Next one, down the strike zone, over the left shoulder of Ruggiero. 1-2. 2 outs, top of the 7th. One runner on first. Pitch in, contact made, and Judy Lopez brings it out of the air on that one. Great job. Shows off his vertical on that one. Top of the 7th comes to a close with the Twins leading by 10. 11-1 to be exact. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Welcome back, Clyde Scott Field. Bottom of the 7th coming up here. Marcus Pollard starting us off. Twins leading 11-1, heading into the set bottom of the 7th here in Clyde Scott Field. That one misses to the outside. Ball number 1. Marcus Pollard last night. This is the leading hitter for the Rebels. Batting average of .129. Pollard steps back here. Resets himself. Receives a 1-0 pitch. Down low. 2-0 count. Two-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Pollard. 2-1. .93 total pitches put up for the Derby Twins tonight. Jonay. Duggan fires that one in a 3-1 count. 13 total hits for the Twins, only 5 total for the Rebels. Pollard stills down the barrel of the gun. Contact made past the shortstop, and Pollard gets the base hit.
Number 5. Only Gomez.
Kobe Gomez next up now for the Rebels, who trailed still 10 runs, 11-1.
Gomez, second baseman, 17.
Kobe Gomez swung at that one. 0-1. Pitch number 2. Fired in from Dugan. Down low and to the inside. Called strike. 0-2. Still 0 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Marcus Pollard on first. Gomez receives the next one inside. Ball 1. One-two pitch, fired in and swung at. Luckily was fouled off for Gomez. Count going to stay 1-2. Rebels looking for some signs of life here, down 10 points to the Twins in Clyde Scott Field. Gomez receives the pitch, and a wild pitch. We're going to send him over to first, and Pollard going to stay at second. Doesn't look like Pollard was really kind of expecting that one.
Number 32, 30 Lopez.
Gomez is actually going to be called out over at first. One out, bottom of the 7th. Jordy Lopez back up at El Paso, Texas. Dugan fires in the next one. In the strike zone. 1 count. Bottom of the 7th, Jordy Lopez once again next up, scored the lone run for the Newton Rebels in the top of the 6th. Or excuse me, in the bottom of the 3rd, I should say. Off the mark, 1-1. Dugan and Lopez, hard contact, foul to the left side. J.D. Lopez awaits the pitch, receives it, and called a ball, 2-2. Lopez, hard swing, and it's going to be a fly ball out to center field, and the Twins get the second out of the bottom of the 7th. Marcus Pollard stays over at second. Ryan Ruggiero out of Newton, Kansas next up. Ruggiero, no swing, ball 1. Ruggiero catcher at Hutchinson Community College. Blue Dragons. Contact made out to 3rd, and the Twins get the 3rd out. Ruggiero was flying over to 1st. And with that, the game is over at the end of the 7th inning. Twins. The Twins put away the Newton Rebels and grow their season record up to 13-6. Newton Rebels fall to 3-15 after, of course, the Twins went on a pretty impressive run the first 4 innings, put up a total, I'm not a math major, but 10 total runs in the first 4 innings. Great job by them. They just got off to a hot start, and the Newton Rebels still looking for some more wins on the season, only 3 so far. A lot of frustrated faces coming out of the dugout for the Rebels, but got to keep your head up, man. Got still a whole half of the season left to go. Nevertheless, though, the Rebels fall to the Derby Twins here on June 26, 2024. Clyde Scottfield. My name is Adrian Holguin. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back here in just a matter of days in Clyde Scottfield. Let's look here. Saturday, 29th. Okay. Great Bend Batcats going to be coming in to town. You know where to find us. Come out and join us here in Clyde Scottfield. See the Rebels try to turn their season around. We'll be back this Saturday. Come out and join us. My name is Adrian Holguin. Thanks for joining me. See ya.